This is going to be kind of like a rant video, but it's going to be related to political correctness. And I want to touch on a few events that have happened in the past week or so. And I'll say right up front that I don't know the details of these events, but I do know how they affect the broader subject. Talking about some of the accusations that have been laid against the Tea Party movement by the Congressional Black Caucus, and just some of the videos that I've seen, little bits and pieces of some of the things that have been said at these, I don't know if you want to call them organizations, but protests, let's say. Now, whether or not you believe in the Tea Party movement specifically is irrelevant. But I want to show, and I want to talk about really, is how political correctness can hamper free speech. Now, I know there are people that are extremists on both sides. And there are going to be people that are going to watch this video, see my face, see my haircut, automatically assume that I'm a certain type of person. Well, let me tell you, I'm a pretty conservative person. Doesn't mean that I fit into the stereotype of what some might call neocons or whatever. I'm actually more old school conservative than I am a neocon. But each issue has, I have to weigh each issue individually. I can't fit myself into a certain political ideology. What I can do is I can totally tell you that I'm against political correctness. One of the things that I heard went on was this racial slur thing that was leveled against the Tea Party movement or the protesters by the Congressional Black Caucus. Now, I've seen videos that, are supposed to show that it didn't happen. But honestly, those videos don't mean anything. All it means is there were no racial slurs in that specific video or that particular video. But it doesn't matter. Suppose there was somebody there that dropped the N-bomb, the god-awful N-bomb, while there were, Congressional Black Caucus members in the area. What does that tell us? Other than somebody dropped the N-bomb. Does that discredit the entire protest or the reason for those gathered because that was there? If you say yes, it does, then basically free speech is over. Not because the people ought to have the right to say something like that, but because the people that were gathered to peacefully assemble are totally marginalized by something that was said, and we have no idea who said it. If it's your position that saying a word or a phrase at an organization totally discredits that organization, then the only thing one would have to do is send somebody to that particular organization and drop bring a tape recorder, have somebody say the words that we're not supposed to say, and that would totally discredit whatever went on at that organization. Now, that's a path that I'm just not willing to go down. And it's the reason why people need to stop with this nonsense about words or, yeah, but he said this, or we heard that these people said this certain word or whatever. It's even gotten to the point where words mean things that they don't mean. I've heard claims many times by people that said when you hear someone call Barack Obama a socialist, that's a key word, a code word for black. Socialism. Never mind the fact that the person that said he believes Barack Obama to be a socialist might actually believe he's a socialist. See, words mean things. And the people that would say that, those are code words, they're just trying to marginalize a real legitimate viewpoint by some people. Are there people that don't like Barack Obama because he's a black man? Of course there are. But last I checked, he won the election in 2008, and he didn't do that by black voters. He didn't do that by just black voters. So the country that I live in is so far enough removed from the roots of racism in this country that a black man was elected president. But now that that black man is elected president, and he has things that he believes in, and of course any given position is going to have opposition, just when that opposition comes up, the people that don't have a good argument against the people that oppose Barack Obama can simply level racial charges against those people. And to some, that's good enough. So I'll go back to the Congressional Black Caucus. If there were, and there's no proof either way in my mind, that there were racial slurs that were uttered during that protest, means nothing to me. The larger point is there were people protesting the healthcare legislation. And just because somebody heard a word doesn't mean that those people's grievances shouldn't be taken seriously. Political correctness is the root of frickin' all the problems that we have with political discourse right now, I believe. I think it's plain evil. And when people start to say, oh, that's code words, when you hear these phrases, when you hear people say, well, he might have said this, but what he meant was this, they're trying to marginalize that point of view. And I think it's frickin' disgusting, to be honest with you. Anyway, that's my rant for today.